he's still
Sorry.
Do you
want to explain what the hell's going on?
Is that the start of the video?
This is the start of the video. Let's start again.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, I hate doing that.
I know,
stupid
the hello.
event. We should really do the intro again because otherwise you've got no intro.
Hi everyone.
Hello. Welcome to Sunday's video. We're not doing a vlog this week. We decided we would do something very different.
Better than a vlog.
We hope. Nobody really knows how we met or we got married, and those are two things that we get asked a lot. So we thought it would be good just to make a video out of that and tell you guys a little bit about our background. We thought it would be really nice to just make a little video for you and for Grayson to watch when he's older. It's nice for him to have somewhere, or our grandchildren to have somewhere where they can go and be like, that's how you met and that's how you felt about each other. And
yeah, so let's start from the top. We met at a magazine we have in the UK called Heat magazine. I worked for Heat magazine and my job was basically to kind of interview celebrities, but to kind of just take the piss a bit. And I want to say that whenever I do listen to your music, it does actually bring a tear to my eye.
Oh, really? How's that?
It's fucking awful.
I asked for a much bigger penis.
Well, I can see because you've got it kind of hanging out there.
Yeah,
Is that because it's just airing it?
Well,
Is
just
that...
the tip right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's not rude.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's not awkward at all.
What is love?
Love is the recognition and acknowledgement that we're all one.
I was using the Marvin brand of condoms the other month and it split, resulting in my bird getting preggers. Will Marvin agree to pay a small monthly sum to help with the child costs?
First of all, that condom definitely did not split because it's extra safe condoms.
I wasn't very good at it because I used to offend quite a lot of people.
Do you know what, mate? I think you're a f***ing twat.
I used to go a bit too far sometimes. But it was fun for a while. I was sitting at my desk one day, probably editing another video of me being an absolute bellend, and then in walked Hannah.
When I moved to London, I had no idea what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be, so I was just working in retail. My degree was like media and film, so I decided, oh, I better get some work experience in this field. So I decided to take up an internship at Heat magazine. So I spent the whole week in a cupboard. You were such a geek. You had like these massive headphones on. You didn't say one word to me for like a week, apart from, do you want some tea? Every time I looked up from my computer, I caught you like looking at me with the big old headphones on, and then like pretending to like look down.
Whatever, every time I looked up, you were looking at me and licking your lips.
Oh no, it wasn't.
You were licking your absolute lips. And when Hannah first walked in, I was just like, oh, I felt like I got like pushed. I felt like somebody just pushed me. I was just like, whoa, bloody hell.
How old was I? 22?
22, yeah. We started tweeting. We arranged to meet up, and then she just blew me out. Every single evening we were gonna meet up.
3 times.
3 times. Do you know what I did? And this is a tip for the 3 straight men that watch our channel. If they blow you out, just leave it. The worst thing I could do would be like, well,
Definitely didn't do that, Stef.
Can we rearrange? I did not ask
the first time you did.
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
Okay, maybe the first time I did, but after that I definitely didn't. I was like playing this one cool. And then eventually we had a date, didn't we?
Yeah, I loved our first date.
It was really good.
It was like my favourite first date ever. It was so good and so much fun. It was really weird because when we went on our first date, because I was kind of skeptical anyway, I was a bit like, don't know if I really like you yet or not. I didn't know you. All we did was talk on Twitter, so I was a bit like,
did the looks
I don't
not
know you.
pull you
It
on
takes
board?
me a long time to warm to somebody. We ended up having a 5-hour long first date. We just really got on with each other.
And I got a kiss.
Yeah, right at the end.
Yep.
It was a good kiss. That was a really good kiss.
Nice. Yeah, it was good. We should kiss like that more often. Now it's just like, all right. So then after that, it was just, everything just went so fast. It was like a blur.
To me, it felt like I was in this incredible dream and that I could wake up at any moment and be like, oh, he's not real. It was very romantic.
A lot of people right now are probably being sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was sickly. Even for us, we were like, this is disgusting.
Yeah,
Why do we like
horrible.
each other this much?
Yeah, no, it was pretty horrible. Anyway, so we had these crazy few months and it was really good fun. And then I decided to quit my job at Heat because I wanted to focus fully on Want Feed. I figured I couldn't launch this startup business if I wasn't on it full time. So we started to then just travel together a little bit, and we went to, I think the first place we went was Prague, wasn't it, together?
Yeah.
Our next trip was to the Bahamas, and it was here that really cemented the fact that I wanted to marry this girl and spend the rest of my life with her. So I had some shopping to do when I got back to England. One of our dates, we went to somewhere called Stoke House.
When we got there, I was like, this is such a great surprise. They put champagne in our room, like there was a big roaring fire and it was all really romantic, and I thought that was it. I was like, this is great. We went to go for dinner that night in the hotel.
We had this really annoying couple next to us.
They kept chipping in on our conversation.
Trying to chip in on the conversation, and it was just like, this isn't the right time. When I asked for dessert, they were going to bring over a tagine, and then with the ring was going to be inside the tagine. That was a cue, so I had to basically prolong our food as long as I could for this awful couple to leave next to us.
I remember you saying how full you were, and then you were eating the vegetables like really slowly, like this, and I was like, why are you still eating? You just said you were really full. Why are you still eating?
The guys next to us were like, he said he was really full, why is he still eating? Oh my God, can these guys just leave us alone? Eventually, they left. I was like, God, thank God for that. I was sweating by then. They left the tagine on the table, walked away. I was like, oh, open it then, open it. And you lifted it up, and you were like, what the hell? Why is there a ring in a box? I was like, will you marry me?
I'm light as a feather, bright as the organ breeze. My black shroud, frightened by my feelings. I only wanna be a relief. No, I'm not a go-getter. The demon had a spell on me. My black shroud, captain of my feelings. The only thing I
started making lists of things like bridesmaids dresses, food, place settings, and then I ended up just being like, why am I doing this? This is really stressful. I never really wanted like a traditional wedding, and also because it was quite a big thing for me to plan a wedding without my parents there. Like it would have just highlighted the fact that they weren't there. I ended up thinking, I don't really want to do it like that. I feel like it should be different. My
parents in the same room, it's just a bit of an atmosphere. They kind of are civil to each other, but it's just awkward. So we were like, let's just do something a bit crazy. Let's just go to Vegas, find a cheesy old place to get married. And,
cheesy little chapel.
A cheesy little chapel, and just get married in the cheesy little chapel in Vegas. We'll get drunk, we'll go crazy, we'll go clubbing, we'll like go on a road trip, we'll just do this crazy ass trip. And that was the plan.
We'll basically just be really selfish and make the whole wedding about us.
Yeah, but as my dad says, the devil laughs at those that make plans.
Before we flew over to Vegas, we decided to go over to Ireland to see some of Stef's family. It was about 4 days before we were due to fly to Vegas and get married, and we booked everything, we picked everything. I felt really weird, like very hormonal, just not right at all. And I said to Stef in the supermarket, I think we should pick up a pregnancy test. Stef was like, oh, you're just being silly, like we're definitely not pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And we were in the supermarket with Stef's mum, and we were like trying to hide it because we didn't want to make a big deal out of it. Do you remember? We were trying to like surround it with other things in the basket. And then we went back to our cottage. I went to the bathroom and just did it by myself because you didn't think I was pregnant anyway. And then the 2 lines came up and I was like, oh my God. I just sat there and I was like, kept looking at the instructions. I was like, this has to be right before I tell him. And then I remember opening the bathroom door and sticking my head out and be like, get in here right now.
It's like your life then it just pivots like this and everything shifts.
Everything changes.
Everything changes. And when you see those blue lines,
every tiny little thing
and you know that when
changes.
You see it, you're thinking everything from now on will be different.
It was so scary, but I remember us both being so happy. I remember you being like, I'm gonna be a dad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a dad.
So Hannah couldn't drink the whole time we were in Vegas. We flew out to Vegas to get married in a little chapel of flowers. Don't get married there because they tried to charge me about $800 for getting my photos of the day.
They were really bad photos.
So we don't have any photos.
We didn't have one night. Well, actually, no, we have one photo of our wedding. That's it.
And also, I took out my cameras there, but I lost all the footage. So the only footage I had was GoPro footage for some reason. So let's play what we have of our wedding now.
Passports, money, sunglasses. That's it, isn't it? We have to get our marriage license now.
Excuse me, are you booked?
sure you want to do this? You sure?
Stop asking me.
You sure? Last chance. Can I ask you something? Why do you have bulletproof glass?
You don't know what we deal with in here. Seriously.
You deal with some dark stuff. Thanks very much. We've done it. It's our certificate. No way. It's exactly 6 hours before we get married. About 2 hours before marriage. Jeffy. I love you, Jeffy.
It's weird, isn't it? Like
I don't even know Jeffy.
Flobby.
In a few months.
Oh, my belly button's gonna pop out, I know.
Let's do like a flash forward to a few months. Crazy. You look beautiful, you joking. You look stunning, you joking.
Can you turn that camera off, please?
Gonna leave now and go get married. So, cheers.
I'll never forget that moment.
No,
it was like insane.
Yeah. It's really weird when anyone who gets married
Makes me feel all teary.
A lot of you might be married, a lot of you will get married, but you'll know what we're talking about one day, or if you're married, you'll know what we're talking about when you just come to that moment where you just unite. And it was perfect, and it was the most magical thing ever.
It was like your typical Vegas wedding. Like literally you could see the last bride walk out and they were like, right, next.
And they were like, okay, well these are the choices of music you can have.
Bruno Mars, Britney Spears.
My ears started to bleed. I was like, I'd rather just not get married and go back than get married.
Hey baby, I think I want to marry you.
And
we were like,
I'm just not doing that.
We just won't have any music.
Yeah, so we walked down in silence. And then we got in our a big American like Mustang car, I think it was, and did a massive road trip.
Basically, we decided to, instead of inviting everyone to our wedding, we decided to have a really cool road trip honeymoon instead.
Yeah. Hannah slept the whole bloody road trip.
I was pregnant and I was so tired. And it was like a car on the road in the desert for like 6 hours. So I wasn't not gonna fall asleep. So Stef basically had to do the whole road trip by himself.
Can I just say, like, reality versus expectations. In my expectations, that was we were gonna put the hood down on this thing. We were gonna drive down Route 66, listen to American radio, turn up really loud, all through California, like just hood down, like chilling out. Reality was a hood down in a car. I've never driven a convertible before then. Like it's just loud and it's just like this wind's like.
It's horrible.
You can't hear anything. It's so loud. So you put the hood up. So then Hannah's asleep, and then I turn on the American radio. It's just ads constantly, and I'm like, I can't. I've got to listen to ads for like 8 hours now, and like it. So it wasn't.
And then we got there, and I went to sleep again.
Yeah,
I got straight on the bed, and I was like, I'm really tired.
It wasn't the road trip I imagined, but it was still good fun anyway. It was still good fun. So driving through California was amazing, and we did this big road trip down to Santa Barbara. We felt
oh my god,
so in love with Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara is probably my favourite place I've ever been to. I think.
We drove through to LA after that. Anyway, so that was really cool. We flew back and carried on growing Grayson.
When we got back, it kind of really hit home that we were going to have a child. And I started getting a little bit scared about it because my mum had passed away about 3 years before or something. And obviously that's the person you go to when you get pregnant to help you and tell you what's supposed to feel normal and what happens and everything, and I didn't have that, and none of my friends had children yet either. So I went to YouTube and went to go and see if there was anyone else who was pregnant and could tell me what it was going to be like, and I started watching a few people like regularly telling me what their pregnancy was going to be like. I think it was you that actually said, oh, you should do that too. And I thought, yeah, I should, because I felt very isolated when I first got pregnant because I didn't have anyone to ask these questions to, or like I just felt really scared and isolated. And so I thought, if I can share how I feel and how things are happening during my pregnancy, maybe one day that will help someone else. So I started doing weekly pregnancy videos on YouTube, which Stef edited for me. I used to just sit in front of the camera and be really like depressing and like hormonal and not very nice. Are you gonna guess first?
I still say girl.
You sure?
Yeah.
You're wrong, it's a boy.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my god, Stef, you can't believe how excited I am. Bloody hell, that's fantastic, Stef.
In front of me lay this like really interesting story, and the story was this like new life that Hannah and I are about to have, this parenthood thing that we were about to venture into, and I just thought it was a really interesting narrative to be there to film. So we were happily doing these little videos.
You were working on your business,
Yeah.
I was just growing a child, and
not really anyone was watching us, it was just like a little hobby thing. And then one night, everything completely changed. Hannah sat up in bed and was like, oh my god, Zoella has just tweeted me saying that she really likes our videos and she's watched my
which was
Draw My
really
Life.
strange for me as well, because she was like the first blog I ever read. She was the reason why I started writing my blog, and so I obviously like really admired what she was doing and stuff, so it felt really strange for somebody that I admired to be like, hey, I like what you're doing too.
Hannah and I have a little torch that we can shine on certain things that we like shining on, and Zoella has like
like big floodlights.
She has multiple floodlights, so her pointing towards us exposed us immediately. And then everything changed, and creatively it changed as well, because it was like we had more people watching us now, and it was a bit like, okay, I can't just use stock music anymore and make these things really basic. I want to make these better. Then we started to really push ourselves, didn't we, after that?
When I kind of came to the end of my pregnancy videos and after Draw My Life, all the people watching us were asking, are you going to do this after he's born? I want to see what he looks like, I want to see how like the first part of parenthood is. It was kind of at that point where we were like, yeah, we do want to keep doing this. It was just a hobby at the time. It was never supposed to be like a career, or we never knew that it would turn into a job or anything. We just loved doing it so much, and we loved capturing all these moments, even when they weren't good moments. It was like something that we just both really enjoyed doing. I think it kind of naturally progressed into being a family vlog, from just being like first of all beauty and then pregnancy, and then Grayson was born, and that changed everything, didn't it? We started doing family videos. Midnight on a Friday night it was, and we'd just gone to bed, and we'd gone to bed really late for us that night for some reason, I can't remember why. All of a sudden I felt this really strong, hard, popping sensation. That's the only way I can describe it. I
was like, it's fine, it's just a pop, just sleep.
And then I felt a really strong period pain, and I was like, oh god. We waited a couple of minutes, we were like, nah, this isn't it. Went back to, tried to go back to sleep, and then I was like, oh, Stef, I got another one.
I'll let you hear this. She's pretty uncomfortable, so we're going to go into hospital now. I'm going to book a taxi to take us in now.
There were the contractions starting. They want you to be at least 4 centimetres dilated before you can
call the hospital.
Go into hospital, yeah, exactly. So when I called the hospital, my wife's giving birth, I expected like ambulances to turn up, us to be whisked in, but there's none of that.
But instead of that, they were like, hey, how about you wait for 5 hours?
Yeah, wait for 4 or 5 hours.
And then call us back. And so Stef ran a bath for me, and I was supposed to do all these like exercises where I like zoned out of it, and yeah, it's supposed to be like really relaxing, and I was supposed to like visualize things and stuff. It didn't really happen. I just lay in the bath and screamed for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
But I do think it helped me a little bit.
What did having a baby feel like?
It felt like a giant had grabbed both of my legs. I'm really sorry for anyone who was pregnant for the first time, and was like ripping them apart like that. Like it literally felt like someone was ripping my body apart.
My hips hurt. I feel like someone's ripping them apart. I want
The drugs. But I only had gas and air, that's all I had, so of course it was gonna feel like...
People don't really talk about this. It's really hard for the men as well, because you're seeing the person that you love more than anything in the world being torn apart by a giant, ripping apart their legs. And
I was mooing like a cow. That was the most, probably the like most surreal moment of my life, was when they put him in a little towel and gave him to me, and I was like, oh my god, I have a son.
Our whole world had completely changed. We were kind of lucky enough to be already filming it, to be able to keep going and just to be like, great, let's just keep doing this. Let's make it like a weekly thing. Let's not care about anything other than creating something that can resonate. Because one day, Hannah and I are going to be dust. We would like to leave something for our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren.
And our children.
Yeah, of course. And I want Grayson...
And we're not there anymore. Grayson can be like, I really missed Mum and Dad today. Oh, I'm just going to watch this video of them when I was born.
When Grayson came out, everything, again, had radically changed for us. We were in this new chapter of our lives. A lot of people see the world through the same prism as their parents will see the world. We wanted to take the sense of adventure that we had from us finding each other over into our new family and be like, let's just carry on exploring, having fun, making adventures.
Just take him with us.
Take him with us and let him see the world the same way that we see the world.
I think that's where we are right now. Like, we just want to carry on having fun as a family.
We just want to say, before we sign off for this weird type vlog, that none of this would be possible without you guys. You guys basically mean that I get to be a full-time mum, which is the best thing ever. I know I complain about it sometimes, but I love bringing up Grayson. I love being there for him every day and getting to see every single part of his development and his personality unfolding. Like, it is the best thing I've ever done, and it's you guys do that.
Yeah. It's every single one of you watching is the reason why we both get to see that every day.
You're such an important part of this process. You're such an important part of the story.
That, like, we don't really know any of you, but you're like an extension of our family in a very strange way, because you know us. You know how I gave birth, you know what we did last Tuesday. Like,
you know what our bed sheets look like.
Yeah, you know what our bedroom looks like, you know what clothes Grayson wears. Like, it's a lot to know about somebody without knowing them, but it feels like we've just got a really big extended family. Yeah. Which is a really nice feeling.
We've got somebody to say goodbye to you guys. Say goodbye.
Oh, he's just waking up from his nap. But yeah, anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this very different Sunday video. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching,
guys. Let us know what
guys.
you think of this video.
No, don't, because I think a lot of you have probably been sick by now. Bye bye.
Bye.
Look over there, say bye. Wave. Bye bye.
Give me a kiss. Bye, give me a kiss, you.
I want a kiss. Grayson, can Mummy have a kiss? Aw, Mummy got